Hi everyone, my name is Ranjit. You are watching Simple Shiksha. As I know very well that prepositions can be very confusing when you really have to use it, and especially when you see people using different sorts of prepositions for the same object, it makes it more confusing for you to understand that which preposition that you should use when you have to use it. So for that only I am making the second part of these prepositions in, at and on. Let me share an example why I say that these prepositions can be very confusing. For example, there's a car, and in case if someone is standing near the car, and for that situation someone can say I'm standing at the car. For the same object car, in case if that person is sitting inside the car, then the person can say I am in the car. Or in case if the person is sitting on the rooftop of the car, then person can say I am on the car. Now you can say this for the same object. I have used all these three prepositions in, at and on, and every time how I have said this, it's giving a different meaning altogether for each sentence. So just because I don't want you to get confused with these prepositions, I am going to share more examples in what situation, for what object you should use what kind of prepositions. I want you to watch this video until the very end, and in case if you have not seen the first part, please, I have given the link in the description box, you can also click on the I button and you can check the first part of this video as well, and you can see more examples of these prepositions in, at and on. So let's not waste the time, let's start the topic, prepositions in, at and on. And the very first thing that I'm going to talk about is preposition in. For example, if you are talking about some containers, if you're talking about areas which has enclosed spaces, or maybe area which is covered by walls or fences, then you use preposition in. For example, if you're talking about the classroom, if you're talking about room, if you're talking about any container, then you use preposition in. For example, needles are kept in red plastic box. Needles are kept in red plastic box. Boys are going in their classroom. Father is working in his office. Apart from this, in case if you're talking about the mountains, if you're talking about country, if you're talking about cities, if you're talking about market, if you're talking about lakes, if you're talking about river, then also you use preposition in. For example, that small village in the mountains. That small village is in the mountains. I'll take you for a drive in the country. I'll take you for a drive in the country. I saw him yesterday in the market. Or I live in London. I live in New Delhi. So for mountains, for country, for cities, for market, we use preposition in. Now I talked about the river and the lake as well. Now you probably would say that probably a river and the lake will not have edges, but it does. Well, let me share some examples with you. For example, he is swimming in the river, he is swimming in the lake. Now even though you do not see the edges, but for the river and for the lake you use preposition in. Now for the lake and river, in case if you are referring towards swimming, then you say in the river, in the lake. Or in case if you see someone is taking any sort of journey in the lake, then you use preposition on. For example, he is on the lake. For that means that person is literally using a boat on that lake, and that boat is floating on top of that lake. So for that situation, you do not use preposition in. For that situation, you use preposition on, because that is a kind of transportation you are using on that lake, on that river. So you say he is on the river, he is on the lake. Now apart from this, in case if you are talking about any team, then also you use preposition in. For example, he is working in finance team, he is working in HR team, he got selected in national team, he got selected in national team. So for team also you use preposition in. Apart from this, for liquids also you use preposition in. For example, my mother has used lots of chili in this sauce. My mother has used lots of chili in this sauce. Let me give you one more example. Beverages company use lots of sugar in their soft drinks. Or let me share one more example with you. Do not use milk in my coffee. Apart from that, you can also say there's nothing left in my cup. There is nothing left in my cup. So this was about the preposition in. Now let me share some examples with you for preposition on. For example, if you're talking about any flat surface, then you use preposition on. For example, I can say that my phone is kept on the table. He is sitting on a chair. My daughter is playing on the floor. Refrigerator is kept on the carpet. Books are kept on the shelf. Apart from this, in case if you're talking about any building and if you are referring towards any floor, then also you use preposition on. For example, I live on second floor, or my mother lives on the ground floor. Apart from that, if I talk about the clothes, and in case if you have seen stains on someone's clothes, then also you use preposition on. For example, I saw stains on your clothes yesterday. I saw stains on your clothes yesterday. For the road also you use preposition on. For example, I was walking on the road. My friends were walking on the road. My friends were walking on the road. For the farm also you use preposition on. For example, farmers are working on their farm. Apart from this, in case if you're talking about a radio, if you're talking about a television, if you're talking about mobile phone, then also you use preposition on. For example, I like to listen to music on radio. I was watching this web series on television. My friend is playing games on his phone. My friend is playing games on his phone. So for radio, for television, for phone also you use preposition on. Apart from this, in case if you're talking about a book, then also you use preposition on. For example, on the cover of this book you will find some information. Apart from that, in case if you're talking about the pages, then also you use preposition on. For example, this information will be available on page number 14. This information will be available on page number 19. So this was about preposition on. Now let's move on to our next preposition, which is at. Now since we just talked about the books, let me share some examples in what situation we use preposition at in case we are talking about a book. Now even for example, there is a page and then you want to point, and if you are trying to point out on a very specific location of that page, then also you can use this preposition at. For example, look at the top of the page. That means you are trying to specify, or you are trying to point towards a very specific location of that page. So for very specific location we use preposition at. Apart from that, in case if we are talking about the addresses, then also we use preposition at. For example, Starbucks is located at 14th Cross Road in Manhattan City, or I live at 9th Avenue 26th Street, Manhattan. So for addresses also we use preposition at. So this was all for today. I really hope that you have liked the video. In case if you have not subscribed yet, please click on the subscribe button. And in case if you have not watched the first part yet, then I have given the link in the description, and you can also click on the I button and you can watch the first part of preposition in, at and on. I will see you in my next video. Till then, have a wonderful day.